The episode begins with a group of ninjas about to execute a prisoner. As is customary, they ask for his final words, but he simply states that he has no last wishes. This prisoner is Gabimaru, a feared shinobi. The executioner swings his sword, but to everyone's shock, the blade shatters upon hitting Gabimaru's neck. Not a single scratch appears on his body. The ninjas are stunned. A flashback reveals Gabimaru's past. He was trained from birth to be an assassin, his body hardened beyond that of a normal human. He has taken countless lives and has lost the will to live. But despite multiple execution attempts, beheading, burning at the stake, even being torn apart by bulls, Gabimaru remains unscathed. A mysterious woman, Sagiri, enters she is an executioner from the Yamada clan. She questions Gabimaru, asking why he resists death. He denies it at first, but she sees through his lies. His mind flashes to his wife, a gentle woman who taught him kindness. He finally realizes the truth. Deep down, he wants to live. Sagiri offers him a choice: travel to a mysterious island and retrieve the Elixir of Life in exchange for a full pardon. If he succeeds, he can reunite with his wife. As Gabimaru decides to fight for his life, he eliminates the surrounding guards in an instant. The episode ends with him determined to complete the mission at all costs. The next episode begins with Sagiri reflecting on the burden of execution. She recalls a past event where a storyteller came to her father with a request. As the man told his tale, her father swiftly executed him before he could finish. From that moment, Sagiri vowed to carry out painless executions. However, during her training, she realized execution is not as easy as it seems. Each time she raises her sword, fear takes hold of her. Meanwhile, Gabimaru is blindfolded and taken to a gathering of criminals. A man announces that they have been chosen for a mission to travel to a mysterious island in search of the Elixir of Life. The one who returns with it will receive a full pardon. Among the criminals is a notorious murderer named Gantetsusai Tamiya, who laughs at the idea of the mission. Another criminal, Yuzuriha, recognizes Gabimaru and teases him about his reputation. The captives soon realize the deadly nature of the mission. They are ordered to fight and kill each other, as only a few can board the ship. Chaos erupts as criminals brutally attack one another. Gabimaru, however, refuses to fight at first. Seeing this, Sagiri questions his resolve. As the bloodshed continues, Gabimaru finally takes action, swiftly eliminating multiple opponents. The remaining survivors are declared ready for the journey to the island. The episode ends with the chosen criminals and their executioners preparing for the dangerous mission ahead. The next episode begins with a fierce battle. Arrows and swords fly, but a man remains standing, completely unharmed. He had taken a special medicine that grants temporary immortality. Meanwhile, Gabimaru and Sagiri continue their journey through the island. Gabimaru expresses doubts about finding the Elixir of Life, questioning whether it even exists. He remarks on the island's beauty, but remains wary, knowing the truth about its dangers is still unclear. Sagiri insists on following the rules, reminding Gabimaru that he is still a prisoner. She ties his hands, but their conversation is interrupted when another criminal ambushes them. The attacker, Rokuruta, is a brutal murderer who has stolen over 100 weapons. He sees Gabimaru as a worthy opponent. As he charges forward, Gabimaru effortlessly dodges and counters, breaking Rokuruta's weapons. In a swift move, he fatally wounds him, leaving Sagiri astonished by his strength. Elsewhere, other criminals have begun turning on each other. Some form alliances, while others pretend to cooperate before striking. Sagiri reflects on how survival on this island defies normal societal rules. Suddenly, a monstrous creature appears, its body covered in strange human-like features. Gabimaru steps forward, preparing to fight. The episode ends with the realization that the true horrors of the island are just beginning. The next episode begins with the introduction of Tamiya Gantetsusai, a notorious criminal known as the Blade Dragon. He was once a skilled swordsman, but was thrown into the criminal world after destroying a noble's estate in a fit of rage. Now, as part of the mission, he seeks to prove his strength on the mysterious island. Meanwhile, Gabimaru and Sagiri continue their journey, but they are soon attacked by grotesque monsters. Gabimaru remembers a lesson from his past: never engage in a fight without knowing the enemy's true nature. He attempts to retreat, but they are surrounded. With no other option, Gabimaru unleashes his full strength, tearing through the monsters with ease. Sagiri also fights but struggles against the creatures until Gabimaru helps her. Suddenly, a masked executioner appears and swiftly slashes a monster, revealing his skills. Yuzuriha, a kunoichi, introduces herself and attempts to seduce Gabimaru, but he coldly rejects her, reminding her that he is married. She proposes an alliance, claiming she has knowledge about the island's real dangers, particularly the deadly butterflies that transform victims into flowers. Gabimaru remains skeptical but considers the benefits of working together. Elsewhere, two brothers, Chubei and Toma, face monstrous threats. Chubei, a feared criminal, believes in survival at any cost, while Toma, who joined him to protect him, struggles with his conscience. As the battle against the island's horrors continues, it becomes clear that only the strongest will make it out alive. The episode ends with the realization that the island is far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. The next episode begins with Sagiri dreaming while unconscious. She wakes up in a cave where Gantetsusai tells her that they are in a safe place, away from the monsters. Gabimaru is seen preparing food while another executioner stitches Sagiri's torn clothes. As they eat, Yuzuriha complains about Gabimaru's terrible cooking. Gabimaru defends himself, saying he used whatever ingredients he could find. Gabimaru then mentions that he has found no sign of the elixir of life despite searching. Yuzuriha asks if he truly believes it exists. Gabimaru admits that the island is strange, and the creatures here are unlike anything he has encountered before. The group discusses the eerie Buddhist and Taoist statues scattered around, noting that the monsters have no reproductive organs, meaning they might not be natural beings at all. Gabimaru begins to suspect that the elixir of life might indeed be real. Meanwhile, in another part of the island, Nuragai and her executioner Tenza try to escape by boat. However, they are attacked by a massive sea creature, forcing them to retreat. Nuragai recalls her past, where her people were massacred for unknowingly breaking a law. Tenza reassures her, promising to help her escape execution. Back in the cave, Sagiri is confronted by Shion, another Yamada executioner, who warns her that she should not be on the island. He insists that she should return and fulfill her duty as a woman, marriage. Sagiri refuses, determined to prove her strength. Shion remains skeptical, believing she will not survive. As night falls, Gabimaru keeps watch while others rest. Sagiri approaches him, surprised when he asks if she is feeling better. She realizes that Gabimaru, despite his ruthless nature, has started to develop emotions and care for others. Inspired by his growth, she feels more determined than ever. The next morning, Shion challenges Sagiri, telling her that the island is no place for a woman. He attacks her to prove his point, but Sagiri skillfully dodges his strike and even manages to take his sword. Before they can continue, a monstrous being appears and suddenly kills one of the executioners. The group realizes the real threat is far greater than they expected. The episode ends on a tense note as Sagiri and the others prepare for another deadly encounter.